One of the things that I get asked is, how does healing actually work, or what are the steps that can get me where I want to go? So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Gina Strole. I'm an intuitive healer, psychic medium, spiritual coach, and I've been working in the healing world for a very, very long time. And one thing that I do with people every day is really help them understand the steps of how they can get where they want to go. So, I have 5 steps that I use in my healing programs anytime I work with people privately, to help them get where they want to go. And that first step is really understanding what is the problem. A lot of times when I meet with people in private, they don't really know what's going on. They just know that they're not feeling well, or they're having problems in their relationship. They know that their health isn't going well. They know that there's something going on, but they're not sure what it is. So I will work with them and help them understand what is the real problem, what is going on, because we have to get really clear on what's going on before we can start to heal it or work with it, right? Like, if we don't know what it is, we're not going to get where we want to go. So we want to get really real about what is going on. The thing that I have learned here with myself and with many other people that I have worked with, the hundreds of people that I've worked with, most of the time, what you think the problem is not what the problem is. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Most of the time, what we consciously think is the real problem is not the underlying issue of what's going on. So, working with someone who can help you see the subconscious part of you, the subconscious beliefs, this is one of the important steps in really getting to the nitty gritty or to the underlying reasons of why the issues are continuing or carrying on, why you're having these problems, what's really going on. So that understanding. And then as we work through that, get full understanding, we move into the second part of this, which is full acknowledgement. So as we look at the full acknowledgement of what's really going on, what are the patterns? What are the blocks? What are the stories that you are telling yourself around this scenario? What is really going on and how has it affected your life? Now, here again, we have to look at the subconscious versus the conscious. The conscious mind wants to make it very shallow. Subconscious mind wants to say, oh, it's just because I spent that money, or I did this thing, or I did that thing, when really what's going on underneath is the true belief of, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve to have those things, or something along those lines, depending what the original problem is. So if we can really get to full acknowledgement, understanding, and I like to help my clients see the patterns, especially like self-sabotage, the ways that they have continued to sabotage themselves over the years. Usually when we start looking at these long-term patterns and we start really getting really good and clear on what's going on, we can see that this has actually been going on in a lot of different scenarios for a long period of time. And when I am working with people in healing, I like to go back to the very beginning. When did it start? Which is kind of the next step, is really looking at, when did this start? And can we go back and do the healing work to release the blocks, release that energy, release those negative emotions that are being stored inside the body? This is where we can really start to get a really good, clear look. When did it start? How did that carry on? How has that affected my life? And can we release those? And yes, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, 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 over and over again. I use a lot of journaling exercises here. If you're with me in a session, we will do healing, release the blocks, and really just get good and clear, letting go of a lot of different things. Some of the things that can happen inside of this is really cord releasing, relationship healing, past life healing, sometimes, depending on the situation and what we're working with and what comes up. The cool thing about being an intuitive healer is I just tap into the situation, tap into the energy, and ask it what it needs. And because I've been doing this for a very long time, sometimes we do all of the above. Sometimes we just do a couple of them. Sometimes I send my clients home with homework to do. I send them on their way and say, okay, look, the next time you come and see me, I want you to give me 20 reasons on why this continues to happen. What are you afraid of? 20 reasons of what you're afraid of, or whatever the situation is. It depends on, I'm really good at giving homework because I like my clients to go home and really get an even clearer picture on it as we're doing the healing work. Sometimes we can just do it in the session and it's done, but it just kind of depends on how long it's been going, what the situation is, and what we need to do to release that. So that's that next step, really giving the bridge, getting that bridge from where we were at to where we want to go. The fourth part of this is really changing the mindset. So after we have released, healed, changed the energy, it's time to do a reset. So inside that reset, we usually come up with some work. We work together to see if we can change the mindset. Now, this is work that energy healing happens quickly. To reset the mind, we have to, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to do that. So this is where we really start working with what do we want, where are we going, what are we working towards? And I usually sat with my clients and we work together to come up with some mindset work for them that they can work on every day. And we can journal around that, really changing their mind about what they deserve and where they can go, and really instilling these new beliefs that are more honoring for them inside of their system. Just like we have created these old beliefs for many, many years. A lot of people that I meet with have believed that they were unworthy or they weren't good enough or they couldn't have the things that they wanted. And it takes a little bit of time on the outside to do that mindset work, but it is 100% needed. And it is life changing, because when you can tap in and believe something different, just like you believed you were unworthy, now you can tell yourself, nope, I'm worthy of all amazing things. I'm worthy of having amazing relationships. So we can do that work on the outside. This is where your life completely transforms. If we leave this step out, I know when I was doing early healing work, I didn't really understand this mindset work. And now I get it. I've been doing this a long time. I get it. This is the transformational piece. We need to acknowledge it. We need to understand it. We need to get all of the goods, but then we need to do this work on the other side. So if we can change that mindset, change that story, really create a new story, one of worth, one of amazingness, one of deservingness. And this is where the transformation really happens. And then it's always good to reflect on the changes made. And sometimes this happens a week or two later. Sometimes it can happen just within a short period of time, depending on the situation. But I really like to encourage my clients, myself, and people that I work with to really reflect on the changes I've made, how these changes have changed the way that they think, the way that they feel, what they feel they're deserving of, and all sorts of things. So just that reflection of really looking back and seeing, this is where I was at. This is where I am now. It really makes that connection. I call this really that crossing the bridge over to the other side, where we can see how this work has transformed us. It's so important. Can you do these steps on your own? Yes, absolutely. The hard part that I see for most people is that they get confused and they think what the conscious mind believes is what their true belief systems are. And this isn't true. In order to really get clear, we have to tap into that subconscious part where those real, true, hidden beliefs, the ones that we all run from, these are where those rules and those have tos and those things that we have been programmed through our parents, through society, through religion. This is where those are just really deep seated in there. And we have to get down into that subconscious in order for true healing to happen. It's not enough to just consciously believe that you're good enough. If I ask most people today, do you feel like you're worthy of money? And they say, yeah, of course I do. But then there's this thing in the pit of their stomach that says, no, I'm not. And there is a reason why no, I'm not comes up. And that's the one that we need to get serious with. That's the one that matters. It is that subconscious story that is driving everything that's going on in your life. It is that subconscious story when something happens and it triggers you. It's that subconscious story in there that keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. And so that's the story. That's the belief. Those are the energy blocks that we need to get real with. This is what most people struggle with in healing. I have a lot of people who tell me, well, I thought I had worked through that. Well, you probably maybe have, but it's those different layers down in there that are hidden, that are stored in our system, in our energy field for a long period of time, that really kick our butt. And so if we can get really really good at tapping into the subconscious. How do we do that as the normal person? I use journaling a lot, because journaling, you can start, if you can call it free writing, if that's probably more a better term in this situation. But if you can start free writing and really ask yourself, what do I truly believe about whatever situation that we're doing healing work on? And just start writing. Don't spell check yourself. Don't go back and fix the grammar. Don't do any of that. Just start writing. What do I really truly believe about this situation? What I find is, at first people vent. They just kind of get their feelings off their chest, kind of thing. But then we usually get down to the truth. And you'll know when it's the truth, because you'll go, oh, that's what I really believe. That's what that's all about. Oh my gosh, no wonder I'm having such a hard time. So it's really getting past this outer layer, so to speak, and getting into those inner layers. That's where we find our truth. Even then, sometimes that can come in layers as well. This is why you hear people, well, I thought I had healed that. We can only heal what we're ready to heal, is basically what it comes down to. Like, we can't go in and dive in and get all those deep layers all at once. You're not ready to do all that. So sometimes, yes, we do have to heal. Maybe it's the same situation, but it's on a deeper level, a deeper layer, deeper subconscious layer in there that we're working through. So all of that is just fine as well. It's just getting through those layers and staying with it. This is why, for me, healing is a lifelong thing. This is growth for me. And I don't look at it as, oh my God, we're doing healing for the rest of our life. I look at it as, there are different layers. And as I grow and as I expand, those layers get deeper. It used to be that I was doing a lot of the superficial stuff. I don't do superficial stuff anymore. When I do healing work for myself, we are doing some really deep shit. And that's okay, because I've been doing this a long time. But we have to start somewhere. So if you haven't done a lot of healing work, we're going to be starting on those outer layers, doing a lot of the sort of superficial stuff. And then we get down deeper and deeper. All of it is part of the process. All of it is amazing stuff. All of it is for our growth. It's what you choose to do with it. So spend some time journaling, get really real with yourself. And if you need some help in this area, I would love to help you out. You can reach out. Let's get some healing work done. Isn't it time for you? This is how we grow. This is how we expand, is really doing this healing work. And no matter how you do it, this is how I do it. This is what I have found works best for myself and my clients. No matter how you do it, the point is that you're doing it. Personal development, healing, growth, to me, is part of my life. It's part of my everyday life. I want to be the best version of me that I can possibly be. That means letting go of all this shit that is no longer serving me. That is my goal for you. I hope that this has been helpful. If this was something that you enjoyed, please like and share it with a friend, and make sure to subscribe so we can get more of these videos. So have a fabulous day. We'll talk to you very soon.